there's a new RAW long exposure app for iPhone. So I suppose I could come back to YouTube for one more video and show it to you. It's called ReeXpose, and it's brought to you by the same team behind the Reflex Pro camera app. And this is going to be a hands-on sort of video where I take you through the app in real time and show you how it works, if it works, and then take you through the results. And if ReeXpose delivers the goods and this video goes well, meaning I enjoy making it and you enjoy watching it, then I would consider coming back for one last time again for a comparison video, a detailed comparison video with Even Longer. Because Even Longer is the de facto gold standard in this space. It has reigned supreme as the king of iPhone RAW long exposures for over a year now. Does it finally have some competition in the form of ReeXpose? So let's find out, starting with motion blur. Look at that, one take, first time, one take. Okay, so it is wet, it is windy, it is not the ideal conditions for taking photos, but this is England, by golly. So we have to make do with what we've got. We're actually being teased by some beautifully blue sky over there, which is really nice. And over here, there's some weird and wonderful things going on with the clouds, but I've already got my tripod set up for this angle, this composition. So I want to be quick before that just changes in an instant, which it can. Take you around the UI and make a photo. So very, very quickly, we have timer, 3, 10, 20 seconds, obviously very, very useful. Level, grid, great for composing. Settings, not much in here. Focus peaking, interestingly though, no tap to focus. Don't know why. We have histogram and zebras, wonderfully useful for making photos in RAW. Also wonderfully useful for making RAW photos. Manual controls, yes, yes, yes. So keeping the ISO as low as possible. Shutter speed, watching the histogram there. Let's go to a 100th of a second, nice round, 104. Manual focus, going to leave that, and white balance, happy where it is. Capture times, we have here motion blur mode, light trails mode, we're in the wide camera, and the gallery, and that is the entire app. So we have a wonderful, I'm saying wonderful a lot, aren't I? We have a vast, a variety of capture times to choose from. So you can take a test shot at 1 second. I'm going to go for a 2-minute exposure here because the clouds aren't going too fast, and I'm not going to hit the shutter. I'm going to hit the shutter on my Apple Watch. So, boom, look at that, as if by magic. And that is motion blur. All right, let's try some light trails. So we need to go into light trails mode. And I love having the manual settings here for this because we can just bring the ISO down, make sure it's set as low as possible, because in light trails mode you don't get the noise reduction that you get in the motion blur mode, as we'll see in a minute when we have a look at the results. And here I want, let me just capture this car coming really fast. So I want, oops, I didn't even choose my captures time. I just kept it at 1 second by mistake. So that would have been a good one, but I missed that one. Anyway, it doesn't matter, I'm sure there'll be more. So yeah, I want the shutter speed as slow as possible. So I'm at half a second now. Let's see if I can get away with 1 second. There's still a bit of light in the sky over there. So let's get this car coming. And you'll notice I'm not using the timer here. I've got it turned off now. I could use the Apple Watch like I did with the motion blur mode, but I'm just trusting myself to not knock the phone. And so you can see there I've blown out the sky at 1 second, but the 1 second has given us some really nice long light trails. So let's see what half a second, if I can find it, does here. Try and capture this car. And the cars, oh no, we've got another one coming. So, and what I'm loving so far is how fast I can react to these cars, even though I'm using slow shutter speeds. What apps tend to do, just open this picture here, at slow shutter speeds, is the whole app tends to slow down. It tends to get very laggy. but Reflex is not doing. It's not Reflex, it's ReeXpose. ReeXpose is not doing. I love how the light from the car here has lit up the side of the road, the bank of the road there. So yeah, these are looking really nice so far. I can see a car coming in the distance. Let's go to 20 seconds just so I can get the light trails travelling all the way across the frame. Yes, I've got cars going both ways. This is good. This is really, really good. And I've still got 10 seconds left to make sure that those cars leave the frame. I've got the moon in the frame, got the clouds. Like, it's just so easy to use. One issue that I've always had with even longer doing light trails, as I will go into in my next video, and this picture looks really good. I'll go into this more in the next video, is just trying to get these settings in even longer. I've always found it very difficult, and I've always asked for some form of manual controls, and I've always been told I don't need them. But like, I'm just finding this so easy in ReeXpose. Now that was easy, and most importantly, the results look phenomenal. Remember that sky I blew out? Well, since it's a DNG, boom, there it is. You get all of the dynamic range of a DNG, and in motion blur mode you also get the perfect noise reduction that comes with frame averaging. So as you can see, the results are easily on par with even longer. In fact, if I put the results from both side by side, there's absolutely nothing to give away which is which. Nothing at all. They are indistinguishable, which is the main thing, because long exposure apps like these are all about what the results look like. Everything else is in service to the quality of the results, and there are two parts to it. There are the long exposure effects and the exposure itself. So with the core motion blur and light trail effects nailed, plus the manual controls in place and working well, the Reflex team can now focus on building around them with more features designed to help photographers get the results they want in these two areas. Mario, the developer of Even Longer, understood this perfectly, because he built in two key ingenious features into Even Longer. The first one is interims, which is where you capture a file at interims, basically, so about 1 minute, 2 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever it is, and also your final result. So let's say 10 minutes, but maybe you capture an exposure for 10 minutes and then you discover that 10 minutes was too long and the effect doesn't work quite as well, but then it's 10 minutes too late to go back and change your exposure, but you've got those interims at different capture times. And the second one was parallel bracketing, which is where you capture two parallel exposures at different settings and you can merge them together to get that high dynamic range effect. And with these two key features, photographers are nigh guaranteed to get the results that they want, which means that Even Longer remains the king. But for how much longer? Because I happen to know your man happens to have the inside scoop that these features and more are coming to ReeXpose. Now, I don't know when. What I do know is that the price will obviously increase as well to accommodate them. So right now it's $4.99. I think that's across the board, pounds, euros, dollars, probably. And when these new features come, that's going to go up. And I'm keen, I think that's a good price, by the way. I'm keen to see who ReeXpose attracts. Will it attract those who don't want to pay a subscription for RAW in Even Longer? Will its simplicity and ease of use be more appealing to beginners than Even Longer? We will see. Either way, I don't think making an Even Longer versus ReeXpose detail comparison would be a good idea immediately, because there are big changes coming to both of these apps in the future. So my video would be obsolete immediately, and that's why this is a more hands-on, sort of real-time initial reaction, if you like. Even though I have been beta testing ReeXpose for quite a while, for a good couple of months, so it's not my first reaction, but you know what I mean. I'm not going to lay out a 20-minute video only for it to change and it become obsolete and useless. It's a waste of my time, your time, everyone's time. So I think this was a good idea to just use the app and present it to you more of a Shane Moston style. Bless him. Speaking of Shano, before you go, star trails. I obviously can't capture star trails. He can. He seems to be quite inept. Is that the right word? Inept. He's quite good, anyway, at the star trails. So this is an image that he captured with ReeXpose in star trails. I haven't seen anything about his video. We've not been communicating. We hate each other behind the scenes. Really, he really is a dumb Aussie. And I don't talk funny, by the way. So yeah, I'm sure I'm keen to see what he does in his video. You know, obviously go and check it out. You're probably going to follow both of us, and yeah, I'm very keen to see what he says about it too, because this image anyway, just on the surface, looks spectacular. I wish I could. I wish I knew where to start when it came to something like that, but I don't. And even if I did, I can't capture anything like that here in the UK anyway. Or I could, I'm just too lazy to. I could go down to Durdle Door and capture something like this, you know, if I really wanted to. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I don't know how to end it. How did I used to end videos? Packarund? Never dem did it? No. Never dem Packarund? Aussie Bunna? No. It wasn't Aussie Bunna. It was Aussie Bunna. Aussie Bunna.